is a little bit different for us, but we want to hear from you and get an understanding of where you think we need to make some investments to further your education and your experience. It's important to note that DCPS is in the midst of a budget development process. And I'm glad I have the opportunity to hear from you today around building our budget and how we should allocate our dollars to support you in your success and the success of your peers. And my role as chancellor involves many different moving parts around programming, meeting with the mayor, DC council, visiting with other important staff and constituents to make important decisions about the resources that you need to be successful. So today, this is an opportunity for you to share your thoughts around what's important, what do you see in your school that's needed, how we can be a best support to you to fulfill your dreams and aspirations. I'm also joined today with several members of our leadership team who are listening to the conversation. They are also interested in the feedback that you're going to provide today. And again, we're building a budget for fiscal year 23. So what that means is we're planning now for our budget for the 22-23 school year. So if you're a seventh grader right now, we are planning for your eighth grade year, the 22-23 school year. So that's what we're trying to accomplish today. But before we get started, I want us to spend some time to get to know us today. And I know we're in a virtual room, but it's important to know who's in the conversation, who'll be giving input. So in order for us to move quickly, Jerry is going to call out school names, and he asks that you give your name, your grade, and we would ask you to describe in one word your experience this year or anything else you want to share about you in your school year thus far. So at the end, DCPS staff will also introduce themselves as well. Again, we're excited to have you. I'm going to turn it over to Jerry, who's going to lead you through the exercise.
Awesome. Can we have Kelly Miller go first?
Name. Hello, my name is Amor Moody. Grade in one word.
Yeah, one word.
Integrate.
Name.
I'm fifth grade. In one word to describe your school year. My school year is good so far.
Hello, my name is Deontay Graham in seventh grade, and my school year has been going great so far.
Next, can we get Hart Middle School?
Hello, I am Cheyenne Wicker. I'm currently in the 8th grade at Charles Hart Middle School. One word that describes my school year so far would be different.
Hi, I'm Corinthi. I'm in 8th grade. One word I would use to describe my school year is eventful.
Eventful.
Hello, my name is Anthony Andre Carter III, and I am in seventh grade. And one word that describes my year so far is exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, Hart. Next, can we go to Hardy?
Hello, my name is Jaquan Jackson. I'm in the sixth grade at Charles Hart. And one word that I would describe my school year is interesting.
Are we all done with Hart? Okay. So Hardy's up next.
My name is Phoenix Hollingsworth. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my school year so far is interesting. Okay.
My name is Dayon Bradford Preston. I'm in the eighth grade, and one word that describes my school year is different.
Next, can we get Cardozo Education Campus?
My name is Aisha Hamadu, and I'm in the 8th grade, and the school been good so far.
My name is Yanira Vasquez, and the school year is going successful so far.
And next, can we get Oyster Adams?
I'm Gavin Leonard, and this year has been refreshing.
My name is Sophia Oda Manzano. I'm in 8th grade, and I would describe this school year as interesting.
Next, can we get Wheatley?
My name is Michaela. I'm in the 7th grade, and one word that describes my year so far is okay.
My name is Deshawn, and I'm in the 7th grade, and one word that describes my school year so far is very different.
Can we get Columbia Heights Education Campus?
My name is Angela Young, and I'm in the 8th grade, and my year has been eventful so far.
My name is Sophia Egeta, and I'm in 7th grade, and my year has been really fun.
Brown Education Campus?
Hello, my name is Grace Douglas. I'm currently in the 8th grade, and one word that will describe my year so far is exciting.
Hello, my name is Joseph Bragg. I'm in the 7th grade, and one word that would describe my year so far is decent.
And then next, can we get Sousa? All right, we're going to turn it to IDB Wells.
My name is Kaylee Dawson. I'm in 8th grade, and one word that would describe my school year is like busy, I guess.
And my name is Wendell Lopez, and I'm a founding 8th grader of IW Wells Middle School. And one word I would use to describe my school year would be social.
And then can we get McFarland?
Hello, I'm Siegfried Hinton Wright. I'm in grade 8, and one word is exhilarating.
My name is Jennifer Perez. I am in the 8th grade, and one word is awesome.
Next, can we get Kramer?
My name is Rajay Chappelle, and I'm in 7th grade, and my word is interesting.
My name is Anaya Harrell. I'm in the 8th grade, and I will use the word jubilant.
And Brooklyn Middle School.
Hi, my name is Renaya Johnson. I'm a 7th grade scholar at Brookline Middle School, and one word to describe my school year so far is unique.
Hi, hi, my name is Maurice Owen at Brooklyn Middle School, and one word to describe my school year so far is food.
Next, can we get McKinley Middle School?
Good afternoon. My name is Shawnice, and one word to describe my school is busy, and another one from my partner, Raquel Reed, is exciting.
And Deal Middle School?
My name's Clara. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year so far is exciting.
My name is Owen Carpenter. I'm in 7th grade, and one word to describe my school year so far has been an adventure.
Capitol Hill Montessori.
Hi, my name's Grace Fetzel. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year is entertaining.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Abdella. I'm in grade 7, and one word to describe my school year would probably be exciting or different.
Next is Johnson Middle School.
Go ahead.
My name is Jeremiah Oakley. I'm in grade 8th, and my year so far fantastic.
My name is Cynthia. I'm in grade 6, and my year so far has been fun.
And then next is Stuart Hobson.
I'm Hi, my name is Zuri Hardy. I'm in the 6th grade, and one word to describe my year has been cherish.
My name is Breon Williams, and one word to describe my name is challenger.
Awesome, thank you. Next is Excel Academy.
My name is Rihanna Holland, and I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year so far is cautious.
My name is Milan. I'm in grade 8, and one word to describe this school year is adventurous.
Lecky Education Campus.
My name is Ariel Warren, and one way to describe our year would probably be intriguing.
Oh, my name is Rainy. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year would be eventful.
And then next, Walker Jones.
Hi, my name is Andrea Jones, and I feel that I'm in grade 8, and I feel that throughout the year it's been interesting, but it's been a success.
My name is Rashad Douglas. I'm in grade 8, and I would describe this year as introducing.
Hello, my name is Brian Diaz. I'm in 8th grade, and a word to describe my school year would be amazing.
Do we have anyone from Jefferson? All right, and then the last School Without Walls at Francis Stevens.
Hello, my name is Brooklyn Clipper. I am in the 7th grade, and this school year has been joyous so far.
My name is Otis Podpus. I'm in the 8th grade, and this school year has been unprecedented. I love it. Wonderful words, guys. Thank you, Jerry, for running through that with us. And thank you guys for sticking to the one-word rule. Most of us do not do that very well. I do know, Chancellor, that we wanted to have our staff, a handful of folks here, introduce themselves too. So I will go ahead and just sort of call out folks, and if everyone, let's just do the same thing. We have tons of school level staff, principals, system principals also supporting, but I think for now we'll just move forward after some of the central staff introduce themselves too. So Shanita, are you here?
I am. Hello.
So just do name, maybe role.
Oh, yep.
Name, role, and one word.
Oh, yeah. One word to describe me. Sorry.
No, one word to describe how your year is going.
Oh, yes. And my name is Shanita Burney, and I work here in central office doing family and community engagement. One word to describe how my year has gone is, I think I'm gonna steal a word that one of the students used, and that was unprecedented.
Awesome. Jessica?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Jennings. I work in communications, and this is my first year. I was gonna say new, but you guys are amazing, so I'll go with inspiring.
Awesome. Maggie?
Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? Maggie Thomas. I'm the Chief of Staff with the Chancellor, work with all of these great folks. Good to see y'all. And I'd say my one word is exciting. It's an exciting year. We are never bored.
Sharon?
Hi there. Good afternoon. My name is Sharon Gaskins. I'm the Resource Strategy Officer for DC Public Schools.
in my work includes supporting budget activities for DCPS. My one word is, I'm also going to steal a word, and that is exhilarating.
Awesome. Kevin.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kevin Wenzel. I work on the budget here in central office, and I'm also going to steal a word. My year's been busy.
Right. Who else am I missing? I saw some of our superintendents. Andrea?
Hi, Andrea Carruthers, and I'm going with I'm the principal. I coach schools in Cluster 7, so a bunch of middle schools and ECs, and my word is the year is super for this super Cluster 7.
Nice. I saw Drew. I think you're here too. I don't know if any other soups are.
I'm here. So I'm Katie Larkin. I work with one, Go Lecky, and my word would be wonderful.
All right.
Good afternoon, Jerwana Bay. I have the pleasure of working with all of the secondary schools, meaning all of the middle schools and high schools and some of our some of our education campuses. And the word that I'm going to use the hyphenated two-prong word, action-packed. This year has definitely been action-packed.
All right. And then I just want to quickly introduce myself and my team, and then Chancellor, you have to give us your word, and we'll continue on. So I'm Sarah Parker. I work also with family and community, and now student engagement. I'll say my word is hectic. Jerry, you want to go?
Yep, my name is Jerry. I'm the Public Events and Engagement Coordinator working with Sarah, and my word is adventureful.
Is that a word, Jerry?
I don't think so.
Sometimes we make up words, right?
I
guys?
know, I made it up.
It's an amazing thing when we do that. Claudette.
Hello, everyone. My name is Claudette Monroy. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator, and I will say eager.
Awesome. All right, Bijan.
Hi, my name is Bijan Verlin. I'm the Family and Community Engagement Specialist for Clusters 4 and 7, and my word would be exciting.
Okay. And Chancellor, back to you.
Yeah, so I have to give two. So I'm gonna break the rules just a little bit because your vocabulary has been impressive. So one word for today is impressive, but for this school year, I would say extraordinary. It's been an extraordinary experience for me as a parent, but also as the chancellor for DCPS.
Okay, great. So we'll stick with you, Chancellor. You have a few slides that help to frame up our discussion, and then in about 5 minutes, we'll turn it back and start our discussion.
Thank you, Sarah. So, students, what you have before you today are our strategic priorities. Every organization has to have strategic priorities because they guide what's important to you, and then what's important to you drives how you allocate your resources. So it's important to note that DCPS has a 5-year strategic plan that outlines all of our priorities and goals of what we would like to accomplish. This is called the capital commitment. These goals, these priorities reflect our important work that help us figure out how to best spend our dollars and our resources each year to support you. These dollars go directly to your schools, and then your schools build out those supports directly to you. As you can see, we have ambitious goals around academics. We have goals for our youngest learners. So you may have a sibling that's in kindergarten or first grade. And then these goals go all the way up through high school. So as middle schoolers, we're thinking about your graduation day, how successful you'll be after graduation, whether or not you'll graduate on time. And then more importantly, we want all of our students to feel loved, challenged, and prepared. And we measure that each year through what we call a panorama survey that we ask students and families to complete to share their perceptions with us. And then we want schools to be improving and getting better each year. So again, you can see all of our 6 goals on the right, and then on the left-hand side, you see our strategic priorities that are aligned to our big goals. These are the things that are important to us. So think about this today as you share your ideas with us. Going to the next slide, I do want to highlight the budget process that DCPS follows each year. And it begins with what we call stakeholder engagement, is what we're doing right now. This is our opportunity to hear directly from the people that DCPS serves. So as you can see, one of the circles represents students while we're having a conversation today. We'll have similar conversations with staff members, families, and then community members as well. Once we've completed the engagement process, we take all the information we receive. So there are people here today taking great notes and capturing the feedback that you share. Once that feedback is captured, we look for themes. We look for ideas that are common among the group. And then we start to identify priority investments. What are the new things we want to invest in this year? What will be different? And then how do we line our actual budget up with these priorities? So what you're doing today is giving us valuable feedback that help determine our priority investments. These investments must be aligned to the capital commitment that I just shared with you earlier. And then once that alignment process is complete, we then recommend a balanced budget to the mayor, who then submits the budget to the DC Council for approval. When we say balanced budget, what that really means is all the things that we want to do, we have the dollars to support them. And that would be representative of a balanced budget. So that's our process, and we wanted you to know today where we are in the process, and this process happens every year. Going to the next slide, I do want to call out some of the areas in which we're working on in terms of what are the lenses in which we're looking at this budget development process through. We want you to understand this because we know the budget process hasn't been perfect. And you heard earlier that we have a desire to continuously get better and improve. So when we think about our improvement, there's 3 principles that DCPS is thinking about as we think about how we prepare our budget. We want to ensure that our budget, even though it's one of the highest in the nation, is not one that schools and students feel shortchanged. We want you to understand the budget, make sure it's clear, and we want it to be a budget that we can sustain over time, meaning we have money year after year to support you. We've been working on these areas, and we want to call out equity, ensuring that those students who need more get more. Transparency, where you can see clearly how budgets and dollars go to schools and even to you. And then a model that's sustainable, one that people can rely on year after year. So these are the lenses in which the DCPS are thinking their budget for this year. Now, let's convert this to a timeline. I want to give you a sense of where we are. So many of you may know we're in November now, and October is now a glimpse in the past. And so you can see between October going up into November is when we typically have our engagement process. And then throughout November, December, we move closer towards finalizing budget decisions through our stakeholder and public engagements, which we're in right now. And then when we get to the winter, that is when we're giving budgets to schools. So sometime around January, February is when schools will know what their budgets are, and then they work on their budgets with what we call the local school advisory team. You could potentially sit on this team. Parents, guardians are often sitting on this team. They collaborate with the principal to determine how all the school dollars are going to be spent to best serve you and to ensure that you're successful. We go to the next slide. I'm going to tee up for you today some of the questions that we want you to respond to in our discussion. And so what we want you to do now is think about these 3 questions, and we're going to have about 45 minutes to enter in our discussion. The first question is, how are you feeling about being back in school? Some of you alluded to this in your one-word description, but this is an opportunity to go even deeper. And then we also want to hear from you about what it means as relates to school needs, what you see day in and day out as relates to how we can best serve you. And then the final question is around what should we prioritize more of as we think about where we are. And so, for example, this is where we want to know what's really important to you, what should be at the top of our list. And so these are the 3 questions we want you to think about. How are you feeling about being back in school? When schools receive their funding based on student needs, we want to be sure that you understand what this means and if you have feedback, and then what should be at the top of our list. Jerry's going to lead the discussion. If you have thoughts, please use the raise your hand feature, as Sarah and Jerry are going to moderate the conversation and help us ensure that everyone gets an opportunity to speak. So with that, I'll stop there and I'll turn it back over to Jerry and Sarah to lead us through our discussion. Thank you.
All right, Chancellor. Thank you. So like the Chancellor said, we have about 45 minutes. We'll spend about 15 minutes or so on each question. I'd prefer to kind of take each question in a group, because that way it's easier for us to kind of take notes and make sure we're really all talking about the same thing. So we'll start with the first question. And like I said, it would be great if you can raise your hand in the hand raise feature. Myself and Jerry, even 1 or 2 others, will look out for those who are raising their hand. And don't worry if we don't call on you for this first time, for the first question, if we can't get to everyone. Everyone's going to get a chance to speak. We're going to make sure that we're hearing from everyone and every school. So let's start with the first one. It sort of builds on that opening, the one word. So how are you feeling about being back in school, and what are some things that you missed the most? All right, let's go ahead and start with, and one thing is, please, I may mispronounce names. If I do, please correct me when you come on, okay? So I'm going to start with, is it Cheyenne Wicker?
Yes, that's correct. So,
make sure to speak up, because I know you guys have your wonderful masks on. So
my general idea being back in the school building is very not mixed at all. I do enjoy being back in the school building because I can be more, not physical, but be more in touch with peers, classmates, and teachers. I understand how most people are like, they don't want to be back in the school building due to COVID-19. But there are other reasons they want to be there because they're so adjusted to the normal mindset and physical set of being at home and slacking off and doing most of their work virtually. So I feel being back in the school building is giving me a motivational push and to slack off my work because I'm in a classroom with the computer, with the teacher, with pencil and paper and all set. Then being in my bedroom in bed, not doing absolutely nothing productive towards the school day. So my feelings of being back in the school building is very positive. I do want to be here.
all right, thank you. And Chancellor or anyone else, if there's any clarifying questions, please ask, or any comments, please feel free to jump in. I want this to be kind of a nice discussion if we have a chance. Principal Young, I think you're raising your hand on behalf of a student. Or it's
yes, I am.
Hi, go ahead, guys.
Again, my name is Brooklyn Clipper, and being back in the school building has been joyous, as I was pretty scared in the beginning about coming back through all that has happened, but the school was extremely welcoming and had all the safety precautions to welcome students back. Teachers also gave special attention to students that needed help adapting to the new environment and got to know us, so then we could get more comfortable with the environment, which was extremely helpful to the way we learn now.
Great. That's really good to hear. How about our Ida B. Wells students? I see you raising your hand.
So I've been really happy about coming back to school because I got to socialize with my friends more and interact one-on-one with my teachers, which makes it easier for me to learn things.
I miss being in school because my grades when I was out of school weren't good because I wasn't really paying attention when I was on virtual, I guess. But when I'm in school, it's more hands-on with my work, or it makes me want to actually do it.
Hey, sir, I want one question as people chime in on their grades and work. I'm just curious, did anybody feel like their grades were better when they were in remote status versus compared to where they are now in person? And if so, why?
All right, I'll keep going around the room, but feel free to comment on that new question, guys, also. Kelly Miller students. I feel like
I feel good. I feel better to be inside the building because back in virtual, I wasn't really paying. Well, I was paying attention. It's just that when I was getting the work wasn't really understanding to me. And also, when I'm in the school building, it helped. The teachers help me with the work that I don't understand. And also after school, we have this little aftercare where they help you with your homework and stuff.
All right, Melanie Brady.
Yeah, I feel like my name Shut up. My name is Dayon Preston, and I feel like my grades was better when we was on remote learning because I don't know why it just worked. I feel like it was more of a leeway for the students, like the grades was like easier to bring up or something. I don't know. And like the new grading policy that got put in place, like the WS system, that kind of helped me a little bit too. But yeah.
So my name is Phoenix Farnsworth, and I have mixed emotions about being back in school because even though I didn't like online school, it was like we had a lot more leeway and it was a lot more flexibility than now. It was kind of draining to be in school, especially with the 80-minute classes. So like the COVID restrictions makes it a little harder to adjust to being back in person.
All right. Thank you. All right. AP Braley, sorry, Jade. Your guys' crew.
I feel good in being back to school because I feel like being in person helps us engage with our friends and teachers as well as doing our work and getting good grades.
I'm feeling cautious and excited because at times I'm scared I'm going to get sick. And I'm feeling excited because I get to be back in school and build a great relationship with my teachers and peers.
All right, thanks guys. How about Cap Hill Montessori?
I'm Grace Betzel, and I really liked online school. I liked it a lot. It was kind of fun and easier to focus, but I guess I get to see more people now.
I don't really know. Like, they both have their pros and cons, being back in school and being online. Being online made me kind of sick because of the computers, but being here is also very draining. So depends on which classes you're talking about. Like science and art were very difficult to do online because you couldn't really participate and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, art was not fun.
So, there's that, but they're both very fun and nice.
All right. Let me see who's next. Is it Shawnice Bailey?
Yes, that's correct. This school
Yeah, it has been good so far. I think it's important that we are back in school because some children need hands-on learning, but it's also risky with COVID.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Wakil Reed.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Um. Well, I feel actually great being back in school, and one thing I really did miss was the social interactions I had with the other students and building relationships with them. But you really couldn't do that over a computer screen because you never really got to see anybody's face. So I felt like I was by myself, and I just had all this to do, but I had nobody to share this experience with being at home.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. Yanira Vasquez.
Well, for me,
Yeah, we can hear you.
okay, so what I feel like, what I missed about virtual learning was staying home, but I also got tired of staying home because I was just so isolated and I really had no one to talk to. But what I missed about school is like hanging out with my friends and actually out from getting messages.
Thanks for sharing. Jessica Schimmerling.
I have mixed emotions about virtual learning and coming back in person because since I was in elementary school before we switched, I feel like not being in a school building for my last years has made it challenging to not only make the switch to middle school, but also make the switch from online learning to in-person learning.
Thank you all for sharing about the reality of switching from one to the next. Gavin Leonard.
I think I feel way better being back in person because virtually I was not in a well mental state because I couldn't like talk to anybody and then however though in terms of grades because teachers knew that we were having a tough time they were more generous with the grades and if you turned it in late you could still get an 100 so I think it was way easier than right now to get better grades because now you only get like a B if you turn it in late so I think it's way harder to keep up with grades this year in person than virtual but overall I think in person's better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like with in person, it's easier to focus because well, first off, it's less distractions. You know you're at school to learn, whereas if you're at home, whether that's like in your kitchen or in your room, there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of other things you can do. It's easy to not focus on your work. So I feel like focusing or like focus wise, it's easier to focus at school than at home.
Thank you, guys. Anthony Carter.
You see, the reason why I think it would be better to, like, how I feel about being back in school is that, like, I feel like it's just so much more and so much new to me because I basically went from like the 5th grade to like the 7th coming right back in.
Yeah.
Because I was originally in the 5th grade when COVID first started, and after the year hit, then I came back to now it's just like 7th grade. So now the reality and just coming back, it feels so weird and I'm here, but I'm not here at the same time because I'm still trying to adjust to the new surroundings and being back at home. Back at school,
Mm-hmm. We've heard that from some of our parents who we talk with too, that jumping from that elementary school to middle school it was a really big jump. So I can understand that. Walker Jones.
I feel that the school year has been good, and in my opinion, I really didn't like virtual because I began to get distracted by things and stuff. So throughout the school year, my grades been better and great. Thing. That's it.
All right. Serenity Stark.
I feel about being in person is really complicated, but at the same time, it's more easier for me because I'm a hands-on learner. So being virtual was like more so hard for me because I couldn't really like physically do the work most of the time. Most of the time was just on computer. So being back in school is like helping me like adjust more, but then at the same time, being online affected how I interact with other students.
All right. I'm going to take one or two more and then switch us to our next question, but feel free to add in the chat if I didn't get called on everyone. I see a hand from, is it Lynette Williams Thomas? Wheatley Friends.
This school year has been refreshing because when we were on virtual, it was like we were just sitting all day and just getting up and doing our work. But now we're at school, we're all moving around.
All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, I think we got through pretty much everyone. I'd love to move to the next question, unless I missed.
It looks like Souza just got on.
Oh yeah, Souza did join.
Shay Simmons and Jashawn Long.
Souza, do you want to introduce yourself also, and maybe give us one word that describes your year so far? You guys can come on camera.
One word that describes our year is amazing.
Your name.
My name is Jay Sean. One word that describes our year is amazing.
I'm Fishay, and one word that describes our year is fun.
All right, thanks guys. Anything that you wanted to share around the question we're talking about is just sort of how is the year going? Anything different from virtual or exciting that's happening with you guys that you're back?
I feel like now we can do more things than we did on virtual. Like it's not we wouldn't have any problems with like our computers and stuff without and not being able to get in class. We'll be already in class. It's in like if we were in person.
One is interaction. Like interacting with other students wasn't really much of a thing on virtual, but in person you could interact way more.
All right, thank you guys. All right, one thing the Chancellor mentioned when he was describing a little bit of how we do our budgets is that we want to make sure that every school and every student is getting what each of you needs. All of you are different. All of you have very different needs. I'm different than my friend Shanita, than Jerry, right? And so I think a big part of what we wanted to talk to you about today is how does that feel to give money and prioritize our money based on different student needs? And what does that idea mean to you when we say something like that? Jerry, can you type that question also while I moderate in the chat? Wakil, I see you have your hand raised.
That idea means to me that depending on the situation the students are in that school would change the outcome of the funding would go to and the places the money will be exchanged for.
All right. That's right. And how does that, does that feel good to you? Does that feel like a good way to give out funding and budgets? Any thoughts on that, Wakil?
Can you repeat the question?
I was just saying, like, how does that feel to you? Like, what is that? Does that feel like a smart way to give out money? Or
Well, I would say yes, but no. I'm
good
like,
question. Good answer, Wakil.
uh, I say yes because like, giving out the money can benefit me in some ways, but like if you like giving it out ain't going to go to a certain cause that really can help a certain thing that can help something over time and something bigger. So
All right, great.
yes.
Thank you. All right, how about the deal students?
Okay. Um, I think it means that depending on how much funding or how much help someone needs, they get more money to help them with different things. Like if English isn't your first language, you get like more money for the school so that the school can teach someone English.
Yeah, I think that this means that schools will basically get money based on what the school needs to make learning better for students, whether that be maybe more books, computers, other supplies like that.
All right, thank you guys. How about our West students?
Did you say Wells?
I said West. Is West here? Maybe not. All right. Wells, did you guys want to go?
All right.
We think this is a good idea because it'd be nice for all the schools in everybody's district to be a good, like, a good school. So everybody doesn't have to try to get into one specific school. Yes.
That's right. Thank you, guys. Cheyenne Wicker.
Hello. So the general idea of the schools getting funding and money, to this means to me that we are like the schools are not getting many different things or being new. I feel that we are improving what we have. For example, things could be around the school that are very old and dated. It could be as old and dated, but I feel the money can help like polish up that's already old. So to me, that idea is not necessarily newer things, but we're getting improved things at schools.
So much amazing feedback there too. Cheyenne has wonderful thoughts on the budget and feedback from Mike. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead to Melanie Brady. That computer.
Say your name. My name is Dayon Bradford, and I think what it means to me is like it feels like that because I don't know if you can truly and honestly know what a school needs without asking the children. Like I feel like you can't just you gotta actually ask them what they feel they need, like what we're doing now. But it's more of a like a because you won't necessarily know what somebody needs by just like guessing. Oh, they from this part, so they might need more helping aids or something like that. More this or that, where you can't really know that unless you actually like a survey or something like until you actually talk to them and see how they feel about the school and what's going on.
Besides things like we're doing today, do you have any other ideas around how we can reach more students about what they need? Like a survey or other things?
As a survey would probably do good. Well, I feel like a survey would be good because because I know we take 15 surveys anyway, so I don't think one more would be that. Yeah, we did a whole bunch of surveys, so one more wouldn't be that much. So like, yeah, yeah, I don't think one more will really hit. So and especially with something like this, which is actually very important because for some kids, school is basically like a getaway place for something that might be going on in their house. So like, I feel like it should be another home. It shouldn't just be a place that you go to.
All right. Thank you for the ideas. Shawnice Bailey.
I feel like this is important because we need a lot of things in our everyday life, like pencils and papers, and it could be tiring on some of our teachers who come out their pockets, who have to spend their hard-earned money on things that we need.
All right. How about Danita Dorsey?
I think it's important because, as the person who informed me said, a lot of teachers come out their own pocket for for students who need stuff, and yeah, I think it's important so teachers won't have to come out their pocket for students who don't have what they need. You want to go? Oh, that's it.
All right, thank you. I think there's a few comments that I'll read too before I ask one or two more questions. So it looks like Ms. Coleman wrote for the students, Jeremiah, sorry, wrote that some students need technology, some need tutors for extra help so that they can become a better learner. That's exactly right. Jessica Schimmerling said that I feel this idea is good because instead of all schools getting the same amount, that could be too much or too less, the schools get as much as they need. That's great. Schools get the help they need from funding to help build on the school. That's exactly right. And there's a few other really good comments there from the question before. So feel free to chat again and we'll just keep capturing those. All right, let me call on a few more folks on this topic and then we'll move to our final topic. Principal Young, your guys' team.
So for the funding of schools, I think that the funding should have an amount that each school should start with, meaning that all schools will get the same amount. Then depending on what the schools would need, like money for technology or anything like that, then that should be added on to the funding for the school. So then it's equal for all schools.
All right. How about our Lecky friends?
Question.
Yeah, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think funding is really important because there are a lot of things I feel like DCPS is ignoring school needs and we're not getting exactly what we need. Like, for example, our middle school is literal trailer parks, and it can be kind of difficult because the trailer parks often break down, and I feel like that if the school, even if it did complain or say, hey, we need more money, they don't listen, and I feel like you should listen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Listening is very important. All right, I see a few we agrees too. Usually during the budget season, we do hear a lot about not just what's happening in the school building, but what is happening to the school building. And our school buildings get funded out of a slightly different pot of money. But it's really important today that we hear a little bit about everything. So thank you guys, because it does contribute to what's happening in your schools.
Yeah, I just wanted to go further on that point that
yeah, please.
Your facilities, the buildings that you're in, is actually in what we call the capital budget, which is different from the budget that goes directly to your schools to provide staff and resources to support you. So think of, as you raise issues, think of your building kind of a separate pot, your lunch and food services as another, and then the dollars that go directly to your school. but certainly hear you about your mobile units at your school and the concerns that you're raising.
Yeah. All right, great. Definitely a few more comments around supplies and feeling like some schools getting better funding than others. I think that's a big part of why we're trying to lift up the equity piece of this. So thank you guys. All right. Let me call on. I'm just going to call on one or two others and then move us to the final question. Cap Hill, Montessori.
Oh, hi. We think that we should change the food vendor to a better one, because a lot of the kids in our school just don't eat lunch because they will not eat the stuff that you guys give us because it's nasty.
Yeah, it's also.
It looks like it's from a horror movie.
What?
Go ahead, Gabby.
I'm sorry. It also doesn't really abide by the amount of nutrition and protein kids need, especially at our age, and has not enough vegetables. There's salad options, but there's also another option, and yeah, I don't think you can go for both.
Oh, also, our Wi-Fi is really slow, and whenever we try to do anything like tests or assignments, it takes really long and it eats up our class time. So there should be more budgeting on helping with Wi-Fi and IT.
Thank you guys. I might send our food service team your way to engage with you. They actually just came to a parent meeting last night and got some really good feedback from parents too. So maybe we'll put them in touch with you guys over there. All right, one or two more. Melanie Brady. Oh, hey guys.
My name is Phoenix Hollingsworth, and Miss Brady is our assistant principal. So
I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I
so
realized that it wasn't her.
I agree with the kids who just spoke before me, because school lunch is really nasty and unedible. And I think for some kids who don't have enough money to afford food or lunch every day, come to school and that's the only source of food. So if the school lunch is nasty and they don't want to eat it, then that's going to affect them in the long run, because it's going to affect their mental health, their physical health, how they act in school. It's just a long cycle of. Okay. And I think that teachers, we should also spend the funding on teachers, because I noticed some schools have better teachers than other schools, so that also affects how the kids learn, or higher no. What's the word? Oh, higher ranked teachers than other schools. And I feel like the schools in Georgetown have higher ranked teachers than the schools in Southeast, so that also affects how the kids learn and how much the education the kids are getting.
And I like speaking that too. Dale Bradford, also representative of Hardy. But as someone who went to Johnson for my first 2 years of middle school, and then to transfer to for 6th and 7th grade, I went to Johnson, and then to transfer to Hardy, which is basically on the opposite side of DC, both of the schools. It's a clear difference in the resources, and it's a clear difference in the resources. And at Johnson, I don't want to say a not care attitude, but it was more of a so what, basically. So these kids don't have that. Okay, sure. So what, basically? It felt like it was for example, for example, if you walk around the school, it's very shut up. For example, some of the for example, the hallways is dirtier, so the bathrooms don't have as much. It's not as many janitors. It's not as many teacher aides, and even in classes. So at Hardy, it's electives. We have Italian and Chinese and orchestra and all these different classes. But and even we even got theater class. But at Johnson, we had PE. That was our elective. We had PE. Like we got to choose our electives and all of that. It's like a completely different school from Johnson and Hardy.
And like when opposite for sixth and seventh grade, it was the same thing. Like we didn't have Chinese or the only thing we had was Spanish, and we had band, but we didn't have orchestra. I think we might have a theater class, but it wasn't the same as like the electives aren't the same here at Hardy than at other schools.
All right. Thank you guys. That actually sort of relates, and I'm going to kind of transfer us. I see there's still a few more comments on this question, but what we're starting to talk about is a little bit of the last question. So as we think about goals and priorities for funding, what are some things that you would do more of in DCPS if you were the chancellor? So some of what I heard from our last friends were a little bit more of the extracurricular, the activities, the breadth of the optional classes that you can take beyond just, kind of your standard classes. I've seen some comments on field trips. Obviously, we've started to hear some on food service. So we'll transfer to this last question and close out. We'll do about 10 more minutes. And thank you all for the chat as well. Joseph Bragg.
So I feel like our school needs to prioritize like paint on our walls because our school is old. So I feel like we would give our school money for paint and stuff that we need for. Like our bathrooms are terrible. The gym is dirty. We just need different stuff to make our school look okay.
So some more on facilities. What school are you with, Joseph?
Brown Education Council.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. All right. How about McFarland?
Go ahead. Well, I think that one goal that we should have in mind is more of promotion for help that maybe students need overall, knowing that they are like in a safe space and in a learning environment.
Thank you. Okay, how about Jaquan Jackson?
What I feel like our school really needs, I feel like our school needs like higher maintenance and higher care. It needs better treatment. And I'll say that it kind of needs to be like at a higher rate. And that I'll probably say that it probably needs to at least have like better students because sometimes the students really get off track and they kind of bring the school down sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes.
Okay. All right, thank you. How about DL students?
I think it's important that we have lots of different classes, and so if someone really likes a subject, they can take that subject and have a really great program in that subject. Or if someone's really good at something, or if someone needs help in something, there's a really great program for them to kind of have their fullest potential.
If I were Mr. Fairby, I would focus on COVID in order to stop potential outbreaks, and I would also prioritize just safety in general so that all DCPS students will feel welcomed and comfortable in their school environments.
All right, thank you guys.
It's definitely at the top of my list.
Yep. Brittany Green. Trying to get to some new names here.
I feel like we need better technology like we're east to the river, so like as much as some of these other schools have, we don't have like I feel like we should have better Wi-Fi, more after school activities because not everybody in our school is athletic. Some people want to have different options. I feel like we need better better equipment for like our school in general. I feel like we should have a bigger field. Um,
We have to also raise money on our own, like to even have what we need, what we want and need to for our school. So it's like we make it work, but it's kind of difficult sometimes in order for us to get everything that's we need to put in for our projects or anything involving any in school activities or something.
I feel like we need better equipment for the bathrooms too. Like the boys' bathroom, we don't even have soap dispensers. We don't have tissue. Some people are scared to use the bathroom in the boys' bathroom sometimes.
Yeah, and during COVID, we got to keep our hands washed and stuff. So it's like we can't do that if it's no soap or anything, and all we have is hand sanitizer.
Yeah, no, we definitely want to hear about those things. And thank you all for raising that. Anthony Carter.
Yes. What I would prioritize more for the DCPS if you were me was I would prioritize like giving schools the option to yeah, I would say I would prioritize giving schools the option to pick like what they want for certain things. Like for example, let's say like back to the lunch thing, like we like get a survey about what we want for our lunches or surveys about what we want as a school so we can actually have those things. So like we can so more students they can probably like try to come to school more so they can actually have something to look forward to. Because some kids, they get bored of learning over and over and over. Like it's okay to learn, but like sometimes they would probably like want something else to do other than learn. Like and sometimes the lunches don't be good, and sometimes they don't eat because like the food is not good, and that can like mess with their emotional health and their physical health, and that can probably make it harder for our teachers.
All right, thank you, Anthony. I'm gonna read a few comments from the chat and then take one or two more live ones, and then we'll probably wrap up because I want to make sure we end on time. So definitely seeing some things about after school programs, more for middle schoolers. So thank you all for sharing that. More after school opportunities. So we have more social interactions with our friends, activities that are outside, some more outside space. We like our city year partnership and some stuff around supplies, upgraded calculators for those students in advanced math classes. So that's a good thing to prioritize. There also is a comment from Yanira about needing more personal support groups because there are a lot of students struggling with mental health and emotional health, and there could be a lot of damaging things happening at home. So thank you. We have been investing a lot as a school district in our mental and social emotional health. So that's something that we're going to continue doing for our students. So thank you. And then also a lot on field trips. So we do know that some things changed during COVID with field trips, but we are really looking forward and starting to get back to normal field trips again. So thank you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Miss Parker. I just wanted to say something because nobody really called on Brown, but I just want to say for the third question, it's okay. I just want to talk about mental health and the technology and the Wi-Fi and the school supply because the bathrooms, they're really like, they're dirty, like it's nasty, it's disgusting. And a lot of people, like a lot of girls, a lot of females they don't really have resources that females need, like female resources. So I feel like y'all should have female resources in the bathroom. Y'all could spend money on that. And mental health. Mental health is a big thing for me because there's a lot of kids going through a lot of stuff, especially with the pandemic, because the pandemic's new and it's fresh. I feel like they're going through a lot because we've never been through this before. So a lot of kids, they don't know how to express their emotions. So I feel like they should spend a lot of money for mental health because, you know, mental health is a big thing. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Sorry again if I didn't capture you guys. All right, let's do a few more. It's Principal Young, your team.
Yeah, so something that I would like to say is that I think DCPS needs to put a bigger push into getting the vaccine for COVID, because now, especially that the vaccine is opening up for younger and younger age demographics, it will really help to show people how crucial the vaccine is to keeping everyone safe. And the more people get vaccinated, the quicker we can keep things, the quicker we can keep doing things that we would normally do, and it would improve our learning experience by a tremendous amount. And yeah. Natalie wanted to say something.
Also, advisory classes should have a special unit on the LGBTQ community, as around different schools I have seen people saying that others are gay as a cruel joke or something that you shouldn't be proud of. And I think that there should be classes on that, showing that that shouldn't be said as a joke or anything, instead as something that people are proud of. And also money to replace school devices or chargers that have gotten lost, broken, or stolen and need to be fixed would be a investment that students would highly appreciate.
Thank you, guys. All right, how about Maurice Owens? And then I'll do two more.
If I was the chancellor for school, one thing that I prioritize is the comfortability of the student. I feel like since virtual is school usually would be, especially for people who their entire sixth grade and doing virtual and got instantly skipped over to the seventh grade right after. And I feel like, speaking of what they just said about the cruel joke about people calling other students gay, I think stuff like that should be more spoken about, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my take.
Thank you guys for sharing that. All right, how about Walker Jones?
I feel like our school need more equipment and more technology and things. Have teachers been spoken that they wanted smart boards and stuff? And I feel like field trips are needed in our school because I feel like it can help our students have more education and things. If I want to say something? All right, that's it.
All right, thank you. All right, let me just do one more and then we'll close us out. Trying to see if there's any school community who we haven't heard from. All right, how about, I think we've heard from everyone on here. Gavin Leonard.
I agree that I feel like Oyster Adams personally needs a better school lunch. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't eat the school lunch because they don't believe that it's very like they don't feel like they should eat it because it doesn't look as pleasing. So I definitely agree on that point.
I would also like to add that Oyster Adams is a small school, but we don't really have any after-school clubs or anything like that. I mean, I understand we're a small school, but maybe like one or two, because we only have sports teams. So I think for people who don't like sports, they don't have anything to look up to for after school. And I also think that when we came back in person, our school, I don't know if this is with other schools, but they changed to A and B schedule. And that, like, I think A and B schedule is really annoying because I think it doesn't improve our learning. It just makes us worse because by the 2 days we probably forget about everything, and it's hard to the classes are longer, but it's hard to concentrate for an hour and 20 minutes. Like most people, they stop concentrating after 15 or 30 minutes. So I think it's just a loss of our time, and it makes the schedule more complicated.
One follow-up question. Thank you again for that feedback. Like what I heard most people say that, if you're not in the sports, there's not much else to do. So I'm just curious, are there any ideas of extracurriculars that people are interested in?
If anyone
So
wants to, yeah, if anyone wants to speak
Would-
up.
Would a chess club?
Can I say something?
Sure.
All right. Well, any other extracurricular activities, for example, like anything to do with like education wise, like a reading club or a creation club, like you create different things, or something to do with like hands-on training, like something you could do physicals, to like get physical skills with with creating different things. Excel, like learning advanced, like learning advancements, like after school activities that can help you. Not like it's not like tutoring, but something else that like can further your knowledge of a specific subject that you want to learn, and any other things that can help you excel as a student, not in just sports.
Okay, good. That's helpful. Thank you.
Great. Did anyone else have one other comment on what the chancellor just asked about before we close out?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to comment on what he said. I feel like we should have like chess and checkers and stuff like that. Like, cause some people, like he was saying, some people don't do those type things. Like, sports is not everybody's dream. Like, some people, like an actor's thing. Like, some people may want to be actors or something.
All right. At this time,
Great. All right, thank you guys. Really good. So theater clubs, chess, checkers, other academic clubs, definitely. All right, thank you. Chancellor, any final words before we close out?
I have another idea for some clubs, because also I agree with whoever just spoke, because not all people want to do sports, and like especially having only sports at schools make kids think that that's the only thing they can do. That's the only way they're going to achieve. But some other clubs are like journalism, photography, debate, gardening, community service, art clubs, music, dance, and like science. So like stuff that interests people and makes them like want to do it more, especially at school, to make school more fun for them.
Great.
And I'm gonna add on to that.
Yeah, if you have one more comment, and then I do want to make sure we let everyone go.
So like at our school at Hardy, like it's even like we even have the ability to like we can like create our own club. Like if we come up with an idea, we can go to the principal and give him our idea. And if it's a good idea, he'll let us come up with our own clubs. It's like a lot more flexibility. Like at Johnson, yeah, and like at Johnson, it was like it was just football, basketball. We had baseball and track. That's it. It was nothing else as well that I knew of. And even if it was, they just didn't expand. Like we have a whole bunch of clubs and stuff. It was,
Okay. All right, thank you. I know everyone's really excited to share. I saw Principal Daniel. If Excel can share super quick, I'd love to hear from them, and then we'll close.
Thank you. I think schools should probably have more social workers so students and teachers can talk to people and tell them how they're feeling. Yes, I agree with Brianna, and I just want to say that I think we should have some more food options as well as a monthly food survey, like of what kids would like for lunch that month or that week.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks for sharing. All right, Chancellor. I see Gavin's challenging you on your chess
Yes, I don't have a rating, but the queen cannot be beat. I love that the queen can do everything, which I think is representative of life. But I really appreciate the phenomenal feedback today. Thank you so much. We heard themes around facilities, lunch, extracurriculars, things that you think you need to be supported. And please know that your success is something that I think about daily, along with our central services team. And we relish an opportunity to hear from you directly. I encourage you to stay on top of your grades and attendance, as we want you to continue to be great students in DCPS and beyond. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
All right, guys, be safe. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, everyone.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
Goodbye.